Welcome and thanks for tuning in. My name's Claire Purdue. I'm a technical solutions professional for Microsoft Dynamics 365 and with me is Tony.
Thanks, Claire. Yeah, I'm Tony Lasocki. I'm the talent acquisition lead for Microsoft UK. So my team and I ultimately accountable for bringing talent into the sales, marketing and services businesses within the UK. Thanks for having me.
What we're seeing right now in HR is a war on talent. Would that be a fair way of describing it?
I'd call it more of a war for skills, actually, in that we're often market making in the combination of skills that we need to be successful and meet the requirements of the evolving digital economy. So we're regularly seeking that transformational combination of skills that often doesn't exist in a single package of one individual, which means it's critical for us to have a very comprehensive, flexible and adaptable talent acquisition strategy to make sure that we're meeting those demands.
And of course, it's important to make sure that the people you recruit fit nicely in with the company culture and can take its vision forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Our talent acquisition priorities are a key component of our business and HR strategy. But we need to be increasingly cognizant that we're targeting a more and more diverse talent pool. The perceived job for life is diminishing in its allure, in that candidates are kind of renting out their skills on almost a temporary tour of duty kind of basis. So they'll look to the companies that can't just offer them the best salary, but those that have got the most compelling culture that they align with or offers them meaningful work and perhaps gives them the best experience throughout that employee life cycle.
So how would you suggest that top organisations go about recruiting that talent?
Well, digital transformation firstly has had a profound impact in that it's exponentially increased the number of touch points that we have with candidates across all mediums. So no longer just the preserve of job adverts, corporate career pages. We're interacting with candidates across platforms such as LinkedIn and social media where we have control, but also platforms where we don't, which can obviously make or break an employer brand. So it's really important that we're cognizant of that. Experience therefore plays a huge part in making sure that we can attract the top talent that can change the world. And we need to make sure that we measure ourselves for consistency and the quality of that experience. So that is what we do. We look at the Net Promoter Score amongst our candidates of those coming into the process, but we also measure the quality of our process through operational excellence. In addition to that, we promote and advocate for a foundational recruitment culture, which means that we encourage managers to be recruiters all the time. So not just talent magnets, but collectively responsible for delivering that employee experience. So I kind of like to think of candidates as customers, but they're making an investment in us rather than a transactional purchase. So ultimately, we need to advocate, steward them through that process and be cognizant of any impact that might be there from restricting their ability to access information, slowing down the process or detracting from us, because it can have a really big impact on our brand equity.
And then of course there's onboarding. So would I be right in saying that you need to keep that great recruitment experience going? Yeah,
absolutely. Onboarding is a critical part of the employee life cycle. Getting it right, and you've arguably got a productive, happy employee that's a lot more loyal to the organisation and repeatedly shown that it improves the longevity through that positive influence. But get it wrong and naturally you've got an impact on your brand equity through perception that you've constantly got the same job open in the market. It has an impact on the motivation of existing staff in that they pick up the burden of that ongoing gap if you do lose people through attrition or poor performance. So ultimately the consistency and the quality of that onboarding process has been repeatedly shown to positively influence both the loyalty, performance and the longevity of an employee.
Thanks Tony. I think that's about all we've got time for today. If you'd like to find out more about how Microsoft is helping organisations win the war on talent, please see the link below for some great resources and to learn more about Microsoft Dynamics 365 for talent.